Good morning, everybody. This is COOLA from Rawstocks, and I'm having to record this a little bit early, so it's going to be recording everywhere, including in the Discord for us. So let's get right into it. Got to make this one fast today, guys. Quick shout out to our sponsors, Black Box Stocks and Gamma Edge. Without those guys, we would not be able to bring this to you guys every single day. So, quick shout out to them. As far as what we have today, so this could kind of dictate where we are, right? In when we start lining up for open. Okay, so keep that in mind. Core durable goods orders, durable good orders month over month. If it's positive, it's good. If it's negative, it's bad. The forecast is dire over here compared to the previous month. So it'd be real interesting to see how this kind of shakes out. So kind of watch that very closely. And see kind of how that shakes out. It's such a bad forecast. I'd be shocked if it was anything. So yesterday we had a nice little breakout and attempt up towards that 6,400 level on the SPX on SPY. It's more equivalent to about that 638 level. But we printed a Doge, but we've been printing multiple Doges here. And so I'm kind of curious as we, normally invalidation is virtually breaking back over the top of this open here. And we've done that in pre-market. So don't get super worried about this, but we definitely do have an interesting print that I am worried about. And we're going to get right into that. Okay. So yesterday kind of got stuck in the range. Here we had a nice little tighter range. Let's just put it this way. The data was bullish. Daily pivot was down here, but got stuck on the previous day's high multiple times. Had a pivot point right here for a potential squeeze up towards that 6,400 level, and just never could get it. Somebody sat a nice position right there at that 6,380 level, 6,380 /85, and it just got stuck. So, what are we looking at today? Let's take a look at it. If I can find it. All right. So, full complex here. 6,500 still remains the upside here. Still strong as ever. 21,000 in the GEX side. It's just a call credit spread here. And we're going to see call dominated. So nothing's changed. Today, this is a humongous bearish position here. This means one of two things, in my opinion. This means that they believe it's going to chop or drop. Okay, so normally speaking, when we have the supply and a demand here, 6,400 and supply at 6,415, this is going to act as a straight magnet, or this is going to act as a like a reverse polarity magnet. Okay, it's going to push price away. This is a big overhead right here at 6,400. Tons of calls being sold into that, it looks like. So we need to be monitoring this right here, big time. All right. 6,400 to 6,415. So this is, like I said, this is going to be a different type of read here. 6,400 to 6,415 is the range on the day. Okay, based on what we're seeing. And I know that sounds wild, right? Because we're way down here. So this will actually act as resistance here at 6,400. Let's put a pivot on. Well, no, we'll make it resistance. This will act as resistance into this level here. But the opening range is far beyond where we're at. So a lot of times, like I said, it will draw price to it, or this will act as a absolute reverse polarity and drive price down. But the overhead is real. So you got to be cautious about that. We might see it draw to it and then get sold on. But this is a definite little look here for that potential sell. This is the type of reading where you get it and you get the, let's see if I can highlight all these without, damn it. This is the reading here where you typically see a head on a head and shoulders, right? And so will we see something like this come? It's got potential, but I think as of right now, like I said, we still stand pat on this being bullish until proven otherwise. Okay, until we see that daily 4 closed on, this is what we're dealing with. So daily range today, we got to extend this out to right here, extend this out here, and then we can look at where the daily pivot is. So daily pivot right here is 63.70. It's virtually where we're at right here. So we'll make this, raise it up here, 63.70. So negative pressure right here on the day. Daily pivot at 63.70. If we break below 63.70, this could cause us to have some type of larger, volatility type of day. As of right now, it looks like we are, let's take a look at the VIX real quick. 15.28, so a little less than 1% on the day. So expectations would be right in this range here. So about as low as 6,300 again, and probably about as high as 64.30. So that kind of matches up with our 64.15 high side, and the low side is much further down than what we're looking at in regards to the pivot and everything like that. So if we do get a break below 63.70, not like I said, don't know where we're going to open. Normally I like to do this closer to open, but so if we do get a move under 63.70, watch for that thing to drive down. It could drive all the way back down. I think you need to be watching this previous week high into this range over here near that 63.15 zone, but that's only if we have some type of really bearish sell underneath 63.70. Yesterday we had a lot of support right in this range, so this would be a good profit taking area, but full move would be all the way back down towards that 6,300 level. But I like I said, anything over 63.70, you do like that to be drawn into that area, but there is a lot of pressure, negative pressure in that zone, so keep that in mind as well. All right, let's take a look at SPY real quick, see how that matches up. Full complex call dominated 6,500 or 650 to 620 is the zone. You can see puts are now growing very large. Okay, so we're starting to get less optimism to the upside and starting to getting some larger pulls to the downside. So this is kind of getting to the point where people are starting to hedge, and we're getting the first little look on SPX where there's overhead shorts, like larger overhead shorts in the shorter time frame. Today, we're seeing a little bit with 640 as well. So keep an eye. So this is transitional zone at 634 on this. So 634 puts us up here. It's kind of close to where we were. It's a little bit different, but it's close. 637 to 631 is the range. So it puts us up here to 631, right down in this range. So we'll be looking for this to act as support down here. Resistance is up here. And your daily pivot's at 634, okay? This can act as a pivot slash support right here as well at 634. We'll put this, we'll draw this up as a pivot, or we'll do this as a support, and if you lose it, then know that this is likely dropping, because I think, where was that? Drawing a blank. Yeah, so daily pivot was a little bit higher, and that's about where we're at right now in pre-market. So right in this range. So keep an eye on these two ranges. If we break through both of them, definitely something where you could see a sell down below. Oop, see a sell down below this. If we don't catch the bounce here, watch for that to drop straight through this. Maybe catch that liquidity, draw back at the daily pivot, whether that's here or whether that's up at our SPX pivot, and potentially see it sold down again towards the low side of this. Okay, there's a chance of that happening. The other alternative here is that we catch support on our daily pivot, we chop between SPX's pivot as well, and then we make a move based on this pivot zone here. Okay, and this is really what you need to be looking at. Okay, for me here, if we break to the upside here, I'm okay opening a short-term swing into mid next week, seeing if we get that press up towards 6,400 plus. Okay, if we break below this, then I really do believe that this thing might start to see some level of pullback, maybe start looking at our previous week high as a test into early next week. Okay. All right, moving on to Tesla. Tesla, bad day yesterday, right? Bad day. Got sold off on with earnings. We talked about 300 being the low side here. Well, guess what? That was the low side. Now what, right? Full complex is call dominated. You have some decent shorts here, but nothing too crazy. In regards to the overhead here, we're still optimistic on some level of bounce here for the full complex short term. Tons of bearish overhead here. A ton of bearish overhead. You can start to see that there's a ton of cash secured puts being sold here, and we're seeing 300 be the floor here, with a potential pivot at 307. I wouldn't count 302 as the pivot. 307.5 for a move, trying to get up towards that 312 to 315 area. Looking at some of the larger time frames, it probably lines up closer to that 1 hour moving average there. Keep an eye on that there. Let's draw this out. 300 to 312. This is straight now, right? And let's bring our daily pivot down. Let's draw this up accurately. 300 to 312.5. Right there, with our daily pivot at, what'd I say? 307.5, where we're at. Okay, so watching that previous high there for a breakout, potential push up towards that 312.5 range. Let's shrink this up. This is our ballpark today. Okay, it's not a huge move by any means for Tesla. You're talking about 1.5, maybe a little bit less than 1.5% range here. Nothing great, but this is the range here. This would act as resistance. This would be acting as support here. If you break outside of this, then you need to be looking for you need to be looking for this to actually be some level of potential flash move on Tesla. You could potentially get down in towards that 290 zone, right down in this range, but I don't really see that happening. I think we're going to be pinned here no lower than 300 on the day. So wouldn't be surprised to see it like a 307 close. Let's put it that way. Okay. So that's where we stand on that. NVIDIA. NVIDIA. Yesterday, nice little grab off our support here. We had the calls running up on this. Took a nice little 30 to 40% gain. Ultimately, try to let that come back and try to get up there, but we just got a little bit of too much theta burn and released the last couple contracts we had for like a negative 4% loss. But we we took 60% of the position at a 30 and 40% gain. So not bad. All right. And what are we looking at today? It looks like 175 to the upside, 170 to the floor. And it could get slippery back to 165 if we're being honest. But I'm going to assume that it's going to hold 175 to 170. So we'll put this right here. I'm going to put this a little outside this range, right in this range here. Just the low side. Resistance is here. I need to shrink this. And this support is gone. Daily pivot. Really 172.5. Oh. 172.5. This is your daily pivot. Looking to maintain this for a potential move up towards 175. Okay, guys? 175. We'll set up our alerts right here, there, and at the high side. Okay, see where we got our alerts. You know where everything's at. And that's that for NVIDIA. VIX, be interesting to see if we get some type of pop off of this or if this is going to continue down. I think it's real important to understand where we're at on VIX, keeping an eye on it at all times. Starting to become call dominated, but there's a lot of overhead here in regards to pushing us down. So but there's a lot of speculation to the upside as well, and that's really what's driving us. So we're put dominated right now. Looks like we'll probably be pinned into the end of the month, kind of where we're at. Nothing super crazy to the upside here. And then once we start getting into August, you start to see this pick up. So wouldn't be surprised to see some like spike here, but watch for some quick recovery. And then watch for some type of expansion into later in the month. As you can see, the monthly here definitely has some potential upside here. Okay. So short term, flat to bullish, kind of maybe that push towards 6,400. And then we'll see if this thing wants to potentially play that little head and shoulders we talked about and maybe get a push back down towards 6,300 or more. So, all right, that's going to cover it for today. Make sure you take a look at our Discord, discord.gg/Rawstocks. Go to rawstocksllc.com to join our trading community. We have a free version. You can come in, exchange ideas with all the other guys. We have free rooms on Tesla and SPY, but we also have our premium where you can see our trades, all of our entries and exits, all there for you. Every single one of us, 5 analysts cranking out calls all day long. We've got live trading going on. It's a good time. It's a good time. A lot of smart people there, and we definitely attack the market different than your little trend guys that you see all the time. So with their fake breakouts. So anyways, a little jab there. But anyways, hope everyone has a great Friday. I'm going to be off the trading desk today and heading out towards the lake. So have a great weekend, guys, and we'll catch you later.